it's also a tough thing about tennis. You know, you can be really happy one day, but then the day after it's a new match, new opportunities. You can either lose or win. If you lose, you'll be disappointed. If you win, you'll be even more happy. So it's not too much time to celebrate or take off either. So that's also, I think, one thing that is really tough with tennis sometimes. Well, I started because of my father. He used to play. He was a former player and reached a career high of 39 in the world. So he was kind of the guy who put Norway on the tennis map a little bit, at least a couple of years ago. And we had a small tennis court in our garden. So he took me there to play ever since I could walk, I think, and was really young. And I did a bunch of other sports as well, but eventually tennis was the one that I enjoyed the most. And when I was 12, I put all the other sports aside and focused only on my tennis. It was a lot of fun, you know, a lot of tough practices as well. My father is he's a very nice and funny guy, but also strict whenever we were on the court, and strict with me, always trying to do the right choices and being serious even from a young age. And I think it's paying off a little bit now, at least. And you know, I've taken a lot of choices and decisions that maybe weren't always as easy, but you know, I had to do it because of my career, and I don't look at it as the toughest choices because I enjoy tennis so much. But I mean, many people back home in Norway asked me if I thought it was tough to make certain choices and decisions in my youth ages, and you know, it's for me it's not really a big sacrifice as some maybe think, but you know, I've of course have had to go through some tough stuff. When you turn 15, 16, your friends maybe start to party a little bit, and you're maybe tempted to try to go once or twice, but you know, I never did it. I never touched alcohol, and of course those are the kind of choices that normal people may think is a bit tough or you know, hard to say no to going out or being with friends, or you know, also just every weekend in Norway it's usual to go to your cabin or your summer house or whatever the season is. But every weekend me and my father went out to the courts and played at least 6-7 hours. So I think those were the kind of choices that made me step ahead of my competitors back in Norway, at least for some years. And you know, the other players still played well, but I think eventually after 2-3 years, I mean, I went one step ahead, maybe each month or each week, whatever. And you know, it was tough sometimes to get up Saturday, Sunday and train for 3-4 hours, but I knew that if I did it right and I stayed serious, and of course my father also guided me and advised me to do it, I believed in him, and you know, it's been paying off, and of course I'm very grateful now. I think that I would be happy if people called me, you know, humble, good fighter. I think that's kind of my goal, to be, you know, a humble player, a good fighter. You know, I look up to Rafa a lot, and people know him as very humble and a good fighter. So of course I'm not trying to be just like him, but I'm looking at the stuff that I like with Rafa, I'm looking at the stuff that I like with Federer or Djokovic, and of course I'm trying to bring that into my own game. And of course I get frustrated like everybody else sometimes, but I think you'll gain a lot of respect if you're able to stay calm during tough moments. And you know, look at Rafa, he hasn't broken a racket in his whole career, so I just think that's just amazing, and I think that's some things everybody should look up to, and especially young players. So hopefully I can learn something from him, and if I end my career without breaking a racket, I'll be very happy and pleased with myself.